Department of Roads and Transport will be hosting a minibus taxi industry summit. The summit seeks to foster partnership between the minibus taxi industry and all spheres of government to work together towards a safe, accessible, reliable, affordable provision of public transport services in the province. And they're hosting this summit under the theme towards transformation, modernization and re-industrialization of the minibus taxi industry. The event will take place today and tomorrow in Pretoria. We're joined in our studios this morning by Gauteng MEC for the Department of Roads and Transport, Ismail Vadi. MEC Vadi, good morning to you and welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed for your time. Now, how different is the summit starting today from the one that was held by the province last month?
Last month was really an Indaba, where it brought in ordinary operators, rank and file people, to hear their grievances, to see what their concerns are, etc. But what we're doing today and tomorrow is really meeting with the provincial and regional leadership of the taxi associations throughout our province, and really to have a meaningful engagement about strengthening relationships between government and the taxi industry and forging a real and strong partnership for future development.
All right, so with this one, you're just meeting with the bosses of like your Santaco, NTA and so on.
That's right, yes.
All right, and the summit will have Commission MEC. What topics will be discussed specifically?
I think there are 3 or 4 critical areas that are of concern both to us and to the industry. The first is the issue of road safety. Over the last year or so, we've had some very, very serious taxi crashes on our roads, large number of fatalities. And I think we, as government, as commuters, we are extremely concerned about the issue of safety on our roads. So that's going to be the first major issue. How can we improve on the safety, and what role can operators play in this, taxi drivers, etc. The second issue is really the growing incidence of taxi violence. I mean, I live in Lenasia. Just last week there was a killing in our area, 31 bullets, right in the shopping center area. It's a matter of serious concern for us. I mean, there will be disputes in any business industry, there might be disputes, but there's a way in which we can resolve them in a non-violent manner without resorting to violence and using really firepower. I mean, that's really a major problem for us.
But what has the department established in that regard? Is there really disputes on taxi routes?
Well, there are a number of things. I mean, first there's inter-organizational rivalry, so between affiliates of NTA and Santaco. Then there's intra-organizational rivalry, so within an organization there's leadership conflicts, etc. Then there's the overtrading of routes. In a particular area, the routes are overtraded, people are competing for their business. And then, of course, there's illegal operations and encroachment on particular routes. Now, all of these things, I mean, are problems that we are experiencing in this industry. But nobody has to resort to violence to resolve those. And I think that's really, the killings are a serious concern to us. And that's something that we're going to have to address very clearly and openly and transparently with the industry today. The third area is also the importance of economic empowerment. I mean, the taxi industry is a self-made industry. Over the last 30 or 40 years, it is the biggest black-owned industry in our country, in our province. And I think that's a very positive development. But what we're finding is that there are limits to its profitability and its sustainability over time. Unless we get the taxi industry into the broader transport value chain, I don't think that the business and that industry is going to grow. So you find now that there's massive competition for scarce routes, and that's leading to the conflict. So if we can get the taxi industry to cooperatize, to form business entities, then government could consider contracting with them on other activities related to the transport value chain.
So are you basically looking at regulating the taxi industry maybe?
I think it's about regulation. The licensing has been a big issue, but over the last 10 or 15 days, we've gone out to all the regions, inviting operators to come forward around the licensing issues, their concerns. And I'm very happy to say that we've now met over 2,500 actual operators who have come forward, raised concerns about the applications, etc. And a good many of those are going to be processed.
But what was the stumbling block? I do know that it was one outstanding thorny issue for the taxi bosses. What was the stumbling block?
I think the biggest issue is really the incomplete submission of forms. And one of the critical factors is that there must be compliance with the South African Revenue Services. So somebody will come, submit an application, but we don't get a tax clearance certificate. And the system can't approve that. And every effort that is being made by departments to get the operators to come and be compliant is falling on deaf ears. And I think that's the deadlock. So somebody will say, I've applied so many years ago, I haven't got my license. We say, but you're not compliant, we can't issue the license.
All right.
And I think what we've done is gone out and reached out to them and so let us solve the problem.
All right. No, MEC, that's where we're going to leave it this morning. But thank you so much
for your
time.
Thank you very much, Lisa.
Thank you very much. There you have it, the MEC for Transport in Gauteng, Ismail Vadi, talking to us about the mini taxi summit that takes place, or rather starts today and will end tomorrow in Pretoria here in Gauteng. While we're taking a break, don't go away.